Happy Saturday, everybody.
Woo!
It is August 7th, 2021. I'm Bernie Olilla, and I am here with Casey Quinn and Ralph Ter. And today, boys, we are bringing everybody a great little case study about SEO for e-commerce. Two things that you don't really hear people talking too much about, because you talk to most agencies, they're like, yeah, we win for our clients a lot. It's e-commerce. And you're like, well, what are you doing to do it for them? They're like, paid search, paid social, which is also crucial to any paid campaign.
Absolutely.
But when you think about SEO for e-commerce, few and far between are the successful case studies. We have a lot here at One SEO, and today let's dig deep into our boys at where? Scubadelphia.
Dive Seekers.
All right, so Scubadelphia and Dive Seekers. Shout out to our guys over there, Justin and Dave. Dave from Bridesburg. Thanks for the business and the opportunity here to work with you and bring you success organically. So Casey, let's talk a little bit about this campaign and what made it so successful.
Absolutely. So it's not every day that you have not one but two clients in the scuba diving space, right?
Yes.
So Scubadelphia was its independent brand. Dive Seekers was an independent brand, and they merged.
Hold on. Talk about scuba diving on Roosevelt Boulevard.
Yeah.
Or like that. For everybody that doesn't know, that's not from Philly. This is Philadelphia. We're in like the Northeast, the heart of the Northeast. Not where you would typically think about scuba diving. You might think something more tropical, maybe even the Jersey Shore or something like that. Yeah. But these guys over at Scubadelphia have a great product and a great, not just what they sell, but the service they provide too is awesome too. So they'll give you lessons. You can buy the equipment from them. You can rent
certification courses.
These guys are they're the real deal. They're fantastic.
They give you the tips. They are the authority on scuba diving.
And they do like they rent the pool at Penn Charter, I think, and they do lessons there. But anyway, so scuba diving, Philadelphia, very niche. That's why I'm setting the table with that. So let's talk about what we did to make them successful.
So like we said, there was this brand merger between Scubadelphia and Dive Seekers.
Yes.
So establishing an SEO campaign both on a local level and a national level for, one, not only driving people into the certification courses, the trainings, the actual event of scuba diving, we also needed to sell e-commerce products, right? Because they had, what, I think 3,000 products.
So
or
there's a
lot
many
of
products on there.
Like, I didn't even realize how many different. I thought there was a mask, a tank, flippers. Right?
You'd be surprised.
I was wrong.
Yeah. This is why some agencies are probably scared about talking about SEO for e-commerce, because 3,000 products means 3,000 pages. But
and a lot of times
you gotta take a unique approach.
Definitely, and you're thinking about e-commerce. Typically, it's okay, we're gonna optimize it from the category level and then the product level, and we're going to wait for Google to come back and cache it. But something like this is a lot different, because there's a lot of different units to move here, and there's a lot of different products and services. So tell us about what happened initially.
So we wanted to, one, drive traffic to the new website that was built for them.
Yeah, that we built.
Two, increase leads and revenue along the way. So we knew what our audience was on a local level, people that were obviously looking into scuba diving certifications, things of that nature. But on a national level, we really needed to focus on that transactional intent related to the e-commerce shopping side of things. So we didn't want this client to rank for simply scuba diving gear. We wanted them to rank for buy scuba diving gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Those bottom of the funnel intent right there.
Exactly.
And think about tire kickers too. E-commerce, the conversion rates on e-commerce is so low. And when you're thinking about something like this, people come on, you're Googling like.
There's an immense amount
you're looking around.
There's an immense amount of research into like scuba gear before because it's not cheap stuff. You want to get the best. You want to research. You know
exactly what you're getting, or you're like, how much is scuba gear, and you kind of hope to get them in the funnel.
If you like this content and you're trying to grow your business, follow me at Lance Bachman and Lance Bachman Digital on Facebook. LFG, time to grow.
We did a little something different.
For sure. So we started by optimizing the category level pages, correct? And we had product specific keywords, and that was going to help us decrease the bounce rate for those flyby window shoppers.
Exactly.
And we wanted to get the right people on the right product pages.
So you're saying we weeded out the tire kickers and tried to capitalize on the best intent.
For sure. We obviously focused on their best-selling product pages first, like the best-selling products, and then optimizing for the brand keywords on those category pages. Yeah. And we wanted to give these pages the best opportunity to rank for their best-selling products.
100%.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to add in that not only were we optimizing these product pages, but we were also providing just A1 content for the scuba diving community.
Dope-ass content.
They wanted to be the authority, so whether it was diving tips, destinations, things like that, we were providing the content that kept the right audience on the site.
A hub for people that wanted to be involved in this type of, scuba diving and that type of thing. This brings back, like you said, authority. We were back to eat again, you know, putting out the content there, making sure you're an authority in your niche and just giving people something that they want.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like you said, guys, is making sure you optimize for that intent-based keyword, because a lot of tire kickers, especially in e-commerce, conversion rates are low. You got to figure out, and here's the message, you got to figure out what is my best opportunity. And it's going to be purchasing X scuba equipment, purchasing whatever tank it is, this specific brand keyword search that you want to rank for, because somebody who looks for that knows exactly what he or she wants, and that's what we want people to be in front of. So I think now is a good time to take a look at the results, right?
Yeah, and one, I mean, obviously this is a super, super important part of this campaign is the tracking just wasn't set up correctly.
That's the only, dude, don't even.
So the fact that their analytics wasn't
and
set up
this was on
rightly,
their previous website, not the new one that they were building. It was all over the place.
Exactly. The goals weren't in place. The revenue tracking wasn't set up, and it was just mangled.
Yeah.
So there's no way of calculating ROI or knowing your ROAS or any of that fun stuff when you don't have the tracking.
Yeah,
You're just throwing money at the wall.
Justin didn't like that over there. Neither did Dave. Not knowing where the money is going.
Obviously that was the first thing we did was make sure all the goal tracking was set up, make sure the revenue tracking was set up, everything was in place with analytics, and then the deep dive began.
Yeah, and that talk about a deep dive. Deep dive. Nice point. All right, let's get.
He got it.
Yeah, he got me. Let's take a deep dive into the numbers brought to you by the folks at
Lion Logic.
All right, everybody, let's take a look here. So, and I'm gonna scoot this microphone away so Tito doesn't kill me, but. Now, this is the screen, Tito. All right, so now we're looking at how many leads they got over the last 90 days. We are just looking at leads. That's going to be people that want to take a scuba class, people that want to go on one of their awesome trips that they book down to Florida, North Carolina, all over the place to take people to go scuba diving. 723. That's a lot. All right, they don't have any historical data to go off of, but you call them and ask. That's a ton of leads for something like that you book and you bring people to with lessons, trips, all that kind of thing. So good on the lead side. So the second part of this, obviously, it's e-commerce. Nice ticket item too. If you're buying some, if you're selling scuba gear, good business to be in. 698 transactions.
Boom. 90 days.
90 days. 698 transactions.
I didn't even know that there was that many scuba divers in the country.
Yeah, and listen, you ain't buying a flipper either. You're buying some stuff.
It's not cheap. I mean,
the electronics that go,
the last thing you want, I think, is cheap scuba gear, right? Because cheap scuba gear, you probably
it's your life, you know.
I mean, So but 698 transactions, fantastic numbers over there by the boys at Lion Logic reporting on this, and the team also working on this account. Shout out to Nick Sheld, right? That's his account.
Shout out to Nick.
Shout out Nick. All right, thank you, Nick, for doing good by our guys here. But let's take a look at the case study that you put together here too, Case.
Yeah, and this is obviously one of our award-winning campaigns. This is currently shortlisted for the U.S. Search Awards for Best SEO Campaign for Travel and Leisure. That's the category that they fall into. And Bernie, what's really, really cool about this campaign is, and from the organic side, is they were ranking for like less than 90 terms. By the end of this campaign, a year later, 764 keywords they were ranking for.
Yeah, and keyword rankings are good. We always tell people, you tell them, Casey, that the rankings don't matter, the results matter, but having those rankings is important. So that's good to know. But the thing you really need to give a shit about when we're looking at results is, number one, how much money's in the bank, obviously. But let's see where it came from. The traffic, which is up
goal tracking.
A staggering 1,000%. Organically.
This is just organic.
Commas.
Yeah, year over year. That's organically. That was the only thing that was set up in there because you don't have to do anything for it. Set up that part of the analytics.
Yeah.
Looks that guy just said, thanks.
No padding.
We'll see you later.
On this one.
But this is up
organic.
Year over year, 1,103. All right. So, and when you take it back further, the numbers are even better. So this is a crazy campaign that got a lot of good results for people. The new users are up significantly. Organic sessions, you can see people are coming back. So I think all in all here, what you got to think about when you're doing e-commerce based on what we did here, I think a good way to wrap this up is you have to have the right website in place. So we built these guys a website, right? Sure. Number two is you got to make sure you identify what those high intent keywords are. And if, even if you're not selling scuba gear, if you're selling like shoes, jewelry, you can't just have like, Jordan 4s. You're never going to rank for that. You want to rank for things like buy Jordan 4s, Jordan 4s near me, or if it's, you're selling really anything, even if it's like steel fabric, like anything. Yes. Rank for the intent keyword, not the broad keyword itself, which is what we did for these guys that not many other people were doing, and we started killing it for them.
Yeah, so. And also another huge aspect of this is so many people overlook Google My Business.
Yeah.
And Google My Business is the easiest win that you can possibly have for your
no doubt.
It's free to set up. You can track your calls, map directions, like all of these things coming through.
Yep.
They're getting almost 1,000 website visits from Google My Business, almost 400 direction requests to the location.
Yes, they are.
127 phone calls just from the GMB listing.
Yep.
So like that's all.
One of my favorite things about this campaign too is that it's a dual targeted approach. It's local and global, because we're selling scuba gear all over the world, but we're also selling certifications locally. So that gives you a lot of leeway to target those harder to convert, harder to rank for keywords, but you could target and rank for them locally and still bring in that traffic. So it's a dual pronged approach.
Own your backyard.
If you got that brick and mortar store and you're selling nationally, this is the kind of stuff you got to be doing.
You could do it both, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thanks for validating me. I appreciate it. All right, listen, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on Small Business Saturday. We will see you next weekend. If you need anything at all from an e-commerce standpoint, you have any questions, reach out to us here at One SEO. Me, Jill, Lance, Bill, Casey. We'll be happy to help you out. Until next weekend, have a great rest of your week. We'll see you soon.
Take care, everybody.